were finished with this guy. So they rejoiced when this happened. But the result of this meant much mayhem and hurt to the earth. Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. But woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time. So he promised to go to the heavenly realm, and he will do anything he can to get off of this earth and use anyone he can. All our government officials, the Masonic orders, the government powers, NASA, the military. He would use everything he can, these deceived people, to fight against the Most High. And when the dragon saw that he was cast into the earth, he started persecuting the woman, which brought forth the man-child. So because he could not fight Christ, and because he was so upset that he could no longer go before the heavenly realm to accuse his brethren, he started killing us. His campaign, this is Satan's program in the earth. Okay, well, Christ has to come back for his people, correct? Okay. I'll tell you what. Let's kill off of all God's people. Then there'll be nobody for him to come back for. There'll be no one left. So let's just kill off all of God's people, the woman that bear Christ, since we can't kill Christ. Let's just kill everyone off. And therefore, we could avoid the judgment that's coming. Satan or the fallen one has even deceived himself. And that's why John's saying, woe unto the inhabitants of the earth. This mad spirit that was against the Most High from the beginning is now at war with us. I'm reading in Revelation. It says, Revelations 12 and 14, and to the woman were given 2 wings of an eagle, that she might fly into the wilderness, into her place where she is nourished for a time, times, and a half of time from the face of the serpent. Now, that's a dispensation of time, or a time period between the time that they would utterly try to destroy Israel altogether, and when you look at it in years, it was a time between 70 A.D. and the time around the 13th century that the Ishmaelites, along with the Edomites or the Romans, found the golden city Timbuktu to begin their eugenics program that would lead to them identifying who Israel is throughout the 4 corners of the earth in their attempt to destroy the woman, the children of Israel. So in part, the Most High did us a favor by scattering us throughout the 4 corners of the earth, even though it was a curse, because by scattering us, we were not in one area in which they could kill us off altogether. So that means the serpent must come with a program that can identify the children of Israel throughout the 4 corners of the earth to accomplish his eugenics program. See, I'm reading eugenics right here. Eugenics don't start with Europeans in the 18th century. Eugenics is the plan of Lucifer to eradicate the children of Israel off the face of the earth. Revelation 12 and 16. Now, I'm going to say this. Some of this information we were compiling while we were in the United States, while I was there. All right? At one point pulling out this information and relating it to the Jewish powers and what their programs are today, you know, at one point I received threats bringing out this information. Okay, and this was out of the Bible. All right? And this was just biblical information, but we were tying in biblical information with modern politics. But that's a whole other story. I'll go into that some other time. It says here in Revelations 12 and 16, And the earth helped the woman. And the earth opened up her mouth and swallowed up the flood, which the dragon cast out of her mouth. Which means, because the Roman Empire and Lucifer could not destroy us all at once, they came with the flood of science, with their educational institutions and their religious institutions that could go out throughout the earth and find the children of Israel and destroy them by any means necessary. So that's that flood that came out. Okay? Predominantly through the Roman Catholic Church, the lies that would come out through the whore, the mother of all harlots. And it tells you the earth would help the woman. That means there's knowledge that the Most High would give us to identify the fallen ones that came out of the earth. What came out of the earth? The Essene Scrolls from the Qumran Caves. The Book of Enoch, the information of the Book of Jasher, gave us information that completed the information within the Bible to identify the fallen ones. So this is high level. The same reason the only reason the Roman Catholic Church canonized the books is they wanted to control religion and stop people from understanding who was actually over the whole conspiracy or lie. They never wanted us to figure out that all the empires of this earth are actually worshiping fallen angels or God, and that leads us to where we are today. Let me go back a few chapters. The book of Jeremiah. So let's say if we would talk about the modern day activity. When you read the book of Jeremiah in the 10th chapter, you notice in the Old Testament the Most High continually say, "Hear Israel. Hear, O Israel." He's speaking to us. He wants us to hear this thing because, listen, the world is not listening. The world never listens to the Most High. The Gentile nations and powers who are in control could care less about, they don't know the Most High because it's not part of their culture or understanding when it comes to the worshiping of the God of the Hebrews. All nations are used to following their own gods. So when you read Jeremiah 10:1, it says, "Hear ye the word which the Lord hath spoken unto you, O house of Israel." Listen to this clearly, brothers and sisters. "Thus saith the Lord, learn not the way of the heathen." That means the Gentiles. Don't learn their ways. Okay, the things that work for the nations do not work for the children of Israel. They can prosper in what they do because their gods reward them. But the children of Israel have what you would call different circumstances and a different book to go by. We can't prosper unless we yield our spirits to their God. So the Most High says, listen, "Thus saith the Lord, learn not the way of the heathen, and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven. For the heathen are dismayed at them." So it's telling the children of Israel, listen, don't be dismayed at the signs of what you may see coming out, what they're talking about in the heavenly realm. So what was the Most High doing here by telling Jeremiah to explain this to the people? Don't be dismayed at the signs of heaven. He's telling you that Lucifer would be doing false signs in the heavens. Common sense. So don't you get caught up into that. My people, let the heathen get caught up into planet Nubaru and the Mayans 2012 prophecy. And I tell people all the time, listen, if the Mayans understood prophecy to that degree and was on point, how is it that the Europeans came over to the New World and took them down? Okay? So their prophecy must not have been that on point if they couldn't thwart the destruction that came from the Europeans. Okay? These Mayans were dealing with fallen angels also. They were sacrificing to gods. You notice the Egyptian pyramid It's almost, it looks into the Orion belt similar to the pyramids in Mexico. So they were sacrificing to the same gods or the fallen gods as the ancient Egyptians and the ancient Babylonians. So we're not to be dismayed at the signs of heaven and the prophecies of these different ancient civilizations. Okay? And it says, be not dismayed at the signs of heaven, for the heathen are dismayed at them. So when they tell us something is in the sky and something is coming, we must look at it from a different angle. Okay? What angle should we look at this from? Let me read. Deuteronomy, it says, this is when the children of Israel was going into the land of Canaan to take it for possession. Deuteronomy 12:28. Observe and hear all the words which I command thee, that it may go well with thee, and with thy children after thee forever, when thou doest that which is good and right in the sight of the Lord thy God. When the Lord thy God shall cut off the nations from before thee, whither thou goest to possess it, and thou succeedest them, and dwellest in their land. Take heed to thyself, that thou be not snared by following them. So the Most High says, when I give you this land, don't follow what's in that land. After that be destroyed from before thee. Excuse me. And it says, and that thou inquire not after their gods. Do not inquire after their gods. So something was going on in the land of Canaan that the Most High was separating his people from. He says, don't go after their gods now when you take down this land. So what was in that land of Canaan? What? Fallen angels. Nephilim seed was in the land of Canaan that was worshipped as God. Fallen angels and their children, who are being revered as demigods and gods, saying, how do these nations serve their gods? Even so, I will do likewise. This is what the Most High warned us from. See, nations of this earth or Gentiles of this earth, when they are faced with a phenomenon that comes from space, they revere them as gods and worship these spirits from space. Automatically, it's part of what they do. And they put it in their folklore. They put it in their little fairy tales. They even place it in songs. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. Talking about Lucifer, fallen angels. So this is what they do. The Most High said, listen, don't go for it. Then you had, during Disney's time, you have music. When I Wish Upon a Star. Okay, they have songs about it where it's fallen angels coming into the atmosphere, and if you see a fallen star, you can make a wish. Why? Because they know that these angels can actually give technology and give understanding, and they can help you in a society. They can actually help you do things here for a price. The price, your soul. So the Most High is saying here in Deuteronomy 28, listen, when you go into this land, don't deal with the guys these people are dealing with. They're dealing with fallen angels. Okay? And what comes with this?